Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay. Today we are for TCC Engineering. We are from Young Gen Al Jazari Network. So we'll be talking about some of the experience from our senior engineer. Today we have with us Mr. Juhari, who is now working as a
Inspection
engineer. So can you tell me about yourself?
Yeah, okay. Can I start now?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning for all of you. My name is Juhari bin Sakom. I start my work in a power station at the age of 18 years old. I graduated from Singapore Polytechnic. Then after that, I worked in a power station, and at the same time, I take my part-time graduate diploma course in mechanical engineering, where I graduated as a graduate in mechanical engineering, and also I passed my steam engineer awarded by Ministry of Manpower. So after that, at the age of 23, I applied to become an inspector in Shell Eastern Petroleum. At the age of 23 until now, my age now is 64. So I have been working more than 44 years in Shell Eastern Petroleum. What I want to share with all of you is that for you to do well in your career, you must upgrade yourself. You must be proactive and take as many professional courses that you can. For example, in my case, I attended the American Welding Society. I passed it. So the American Petroleum Institute of Preservation, API 570, Piping Inspector, API 653, Tank Inspector. My current job is to inspect all the equipment in refineries. Yeah, so when we check the equipment, we have to ensure the integrity and the safety of the equipment. Any leaking will cause an explosion to the refineries. So if you look at my job, it's more like a doctor where you have a patient, then you inspect the patient thoroughly, you do x-ray, you do non-destructive tests. It's the same to me. When I inspected one equipment, I have to inspect the equipment physically, visually, and also I have to do x-ray, radiography, non-destructive tests, and ultrasonic in case I want to have a better assessment on that equipment. I will share with you my my PowerPoint presentation to see what I have done. So, okay. First of all, to be an inspection engineer, you must very well versed in metallurgy. In our job, metallurgy means you must know about carbon steel, many types of stainless steel, Inconel, Monel, aluminum brass, and all other materials. Why I said so is because this equipment in refineries, they have corrosions internally and externally. Some metals can be used for that purpose, some metal cannot use for that purpose. So in my case, I also need to know about the corrosions engineering. So I must know the basic foundation of the equipment, the metallurgy, and also the corrosion mechanism of that plant or equipment.
Okay, can I ask you one question, Mr. Juhari? So
Yeah, no problem.
for this position itself, do we have to start as a degree holder, or we can actually start as a diploma holder and slowly upgrade with the certification, as you mentioned here, is the American API 510, API 570, and so on?
Yeah, you're right. A very good question. That's why when I worked with power station before, I rely on only my diploma, the chances for me to join Shell is quite remote. So with my STEAM degree, STEAM certificate that I have as a STEAM engineer, it helped me to to be admitted to Shell petroleum company. So in your case, I mean in the our present situations, there are three things that the graduates can enter Shell. First, you must have very good degree, first class or second class, and they will admit you as calling it a special type of program. Okay. Secondly, a normal the degree, but you must have 2 years experience. Then it's also another criteria. Thirdly, you must have working experience with other companies or shipyard, or even you have a diploma in mechanical engineering, and also you must have additional qualification, as I mentioned just now. You must have API, you must have American Welding Society, and you also must have working experience in heavy industries. Does it answer your question?
Yeah. So, in your past year, you started off as a technician at a power station now known as Singapore Power. So, how does it help you as a person doing on the ground and doing hands-on, and later part you become an engineer and you manage a team of maybe a technician and so on, or inspector?
Yeah, it's very good questions. Initially, when I work, I know nothing. I know nothing about the equipment in a boiler and steam turbine. At the power station, I start to learn how to start the boiler, start the steam turbine in order to generate electricity to our nation. And then we also learn how to maintain the boilers and the steam turbine. From this experience that I learned, it managed to help me to pass my steam cert, my steam certificate, my steam engineer's post. And after that, it helped me to, when I joined Shell, all this knowledge, I can easily explore it further in the refineries. So I not only check the boilers and steam turbine, I only check column, I check furnace, I check heat exchanger, and in fact, anything that you tell me, I have done it. And then the work is very, very tough that we need to climb up to inspect and go up to the top of the column and then check externally and internally of the column. So our signature, our approval is very important. I can sign after that when the thing fail, I will be answerable and sent to the court. Does it answer your question?
Yeah, this answers my question. So, here you have put that your code is time and tide waits for no man. So in this current situation during this COVID-19, this is a perfect example where time and tide waits for no one. So
Yeah.
what do you mean by that in your context?
In in my daily life, I always believe that only I myself can change my future. I cannot wait for people to spoon feed me or put a food on my table. So when I in power station, I strive to work part time, to study part time in the diploma in mechanical engineering, and also take all the effort to pass my STEAM engineer's course. So after I joined Shell, the same thing happened. I had to struggle to pass all my API courses, all my American Welding Society courses, and when it comes to COVID, I have to work at home. To be frank, it's not easy for people like me. Who are not very well versed in computer, but I have to learn from my son how to adapt to it. So to me, from there you learn how to search for information through computers, discuss with your friend through the Skype meeting, and others. Yeah, any more things?
Maybe you want to share with us the PowerPoint slide that you have mentioned.
Yeah, very, very useful. Yeah, this is my family photo. This is my family photo, and then it's my journey from 1975 all the way to 78 to 79 and to the present. Yeah, this is refinery that I'm talking about. You can stop me if you want to ask me anything about refinery equipment that you don't understand. You can stop me anytime. This is a column that I tell you. It's almost around 10 stories high. I have to climb up all the way and also have to go inside, crawl downstairs, downwards to inspect all the equipment. And this is the big one is a vessel. Yeah, vessel. And this one, the heat exchanger, where there's a flow between coal and hot materials to have a heat exchange. I think those who are from mechanical engineering, they can know better about this. Yeah, after that, yeah, this is how we get our oil. Yeah. First of all, we take a crude oil or black oil, we call it. We heat it up, and then we send it to a column. Yeah. Then after that, you can see the top portion is the propane, petrol, kerosene, diesels, heavy fuel, lubricants, and bitumen. So this is how Shell earn money. You sell the upper end of the product and also sell the lower end of the product. Any question? Okay. This is the steam boiler that I have been working my first job in power station. When we say boiler, inside is water. We heat up the water inside the tubes. The water is inside the tubes. Outside we use what you call it oil to burn it, and it becomes superheated steam. Once it leaves the steam drum, the superheated steam is used to turn the turbine, and the turbine will turn the alternator and create electricity. This is the principle in power station that we learn. Yeah, when I said non-destructive test, this is for you to see the tip externally, I can see, but we do not know the internal corrosion. So what I do, I will use a non-destructive test. By using ultrasonic, I can see the thickness or metal loss internally. This is another example of the leaking inside the plant. Yeah, you have rupture on pipe, leak from the pipe from internal. That you you cannot see the cause of the leak because it's internal corrosion. And after that, we cut off, let's say for us to investigate, we have to cut off the elbow and the pipe. From here, you can see that different part of the pipe have different thickness. We call it internal corrosion. Yeah. This is another ultrasonic, or you call it non-destructive test that we do. For thickness measurement, we use probe. We use ultrasonic. For the well, we call it a source or isotope to check the result of the well, the wellman, yeah. Then afterward, we interpret the film. From the film, that's what I told you just now, it's just like a doctor, you know? You look at the film, then you see any defects. I'm not a welder, but we are trained to know what is the defect that we can see and how to accept or not to accept based on the code. This is another example. If you do X-ray of the pipe, if a doctor can see your lungs, your heart, for me, I can see the quality of the well, quality of the pipe inside. You can see any blockage. If any cat inside also, you can see any cat. And here is a pipe. The same thing, you can see the thickness of the pipe. And for this part, we call it magnetic particle test to check externally the quality of the well. Then this is a work risk and hazards. To work in the refinery is very, very, very dangerous. So we must follow all the laws, all the safety requirements. Yeah. We have to work inside the confined space. You know how small is the confined space? So for you to go in, you must go to the manhole. So you're more like a commando, like an army commando. You force yourself, go inside. And before you can go into the confined space, you must pass a very rigid course in confined space. You must make sure that there's enough oxygen, enough lighting, and how people can rescue you. So this one has to be discussed with operation people so that your safety will be confirmed or will be ascertained. This is what happened. Look very simple. See, a small leak, let's say a small petroleum leak, can drop. The droplets will go to the very, very hot parts of the pipe of pumps, and it can explode. You can see here, they are shown, and then another explosion here. And this is the condition of the pipes equipment after the explosion.
Okay.
So my job as
Yeah, just want
inspector,
to
yeah,
just to ask one question. So
yes,
like
can.
the newer engineer, those who just
Mhm.
graduate with degree and so on, they still have to do all this hands-on job, or now it's more of a quality check
Okay.
or inspection check?
Yeah, good example. For us, we are as an inspection engineers, you are the technician, you are the engineers, you are the NDT people, everything, but you don't do it. For the NDT, you let the specialist do the job and we interpret. But if you like a senior engineer, you delegate the work to your engineers to do the work. But the point is, that's why for me, for the past 40 years, I work in Shell. I have done all the groundworks for all the equipments in the refineries, almost all. So I'm very confident that if anything happen, roughly I know what are the causes. I told you before that there's internal corrosion mechanism and external corrosion mechanism. The only you can learn if you go on site, you take photo and then you investigate. Anything to ask, please?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the end of the.
Okay, so with all this experience that you have, uh, what
Yeah.
is the key things that you can share with the new engineers or those who are still studying in their university or perhaps in polytechnic? What are the key things that you can give them so that they can take take in the advice from the senior engineers
Yeah,
and apply it to their life?
yeah, correct. You're right. First of all, to work in a company like our company, although they give you good salary, but you have to face the consequence of working in the quite hazardous environment. So your degree alone is not sufficient. You must, that's what I tell you, time and tide waits for no man. You cannot wait for people to feed back to you or spoon feed you. You must struggle, attend API courses, be, attend as many as you can, tankage, piping, vessels, and you must attend your corrosion course. You also must attend a SME code in welding society. All these are considered professional qualification and is recognized worldwide. You just show your cert API cert or your engineers in American Welding Society, they will accept you. They recognize your qualification. Yeah. So they just hope for our degree. So you must upgrade yourself.
Okay. So what is your biggest failure, and what do you learn from it for this past 40 years?
Failure in personal or work concern.
As in work. So basically, we have nowadays we have students who having this dilemma, like they have a degree but they reluctant to start as a technician. But for yourself, you start as a technician and you gain the experience through the years
Yes.
before you move on to become an engineer. So what do you
Yeah.
give advice to these people?
Yeah. But to be frank, as I tell you just now, share one people with engineers and experience. Unless you have a very good result in your degree, they will consider you as what you call it, they call it management scheme. They will groom you to become the top manager, but it's very very difficult. Only the best among the best can be admitted. So to be safe, what we do, as what I mentioned, don't care whether you want to work in shipyard, work in as a contract staff in let's say Manseong or Hap Sing or any companies or Jurong or shipyard. Then learn from there. You learn about metallurgy, learn about welding, and your experience. After 2 years, you can apply to become a chef staff. Many of us are like that. They will attach to after they work in shipyard for 2 years. Shell will what I call it will recruit them as a contract staff, maybe for 6 months or 1 year. Then they'll see that you have all the experience that we want. Basically, if you work in shipyard and work in refinery, 70% are quite similar. So the most likely, most of them are being absorbed by Shell. Yeah. So don't worry. Yeah.
Okay. Basically, we have a question from one of our guys who is viewing this video. So it's from Azlan. So, Mr. Juhari, basically, as a veteran engineer, you have seen a lot of changes in this industry. Seems like the oil and gas industry is actually predominantly male dominated. So, do you see any changes where more women will join the industry?
In fact, for the past 10 years, we have recruited quite a number of females. Most of the females graduates, they are chemical engineers. The reason is mechanical engineers are more like doing more on hands-on works, whereas for chemical engineers, they are doing more on calculations, design calculation to upgrade the plants. For us, mechanical or inspection engineers, we inspect the plant. So there are two different fields. Yeah, there's a lot of girls joining us now.
Okay. So Fazlan, I hope that answers your question. So we have also one more question. Especially during this COVID-19 period where it's very very difficult for all those fresh graduates. So are there any job opportunities for fresh graduates during these troubling times?
We have just recruited a few of them. That's why I said if you actually, to be frank, now we are quite global company. We recruit not only from Singapore, we recruit from India, from UK, from all over the world. So you must have some outstanding thing that we can value for you, then we can take you. Yeah. The important thing, you must have experience, then you just apply. I think there's a website. I think I have given to my son, Ideal, where you can apply through the website if they want to.
Okay. Any more question, Hafiz? From the viewers?
Basically, let me add on maybe to Mr. Johari's point. I'm actually working in Senoko Power Station. So same as industry as Mr. Juhari where he started. So I have a question lah. Maybe I will ask on behalf of all those viewers out there. For us to actually be sustainable in this industry in the upcoming time, especially after post COVID-19. So how do we keep ourselves relevant in this industry if there are young engineers that wants to join this industry after their graduation?
To be frank, once you join this type of company, I can call it like heavy industries. Your experience will be very, very valuable. You not only can become a mechanical engineer, you can also become like a purchaser in Shell, which many of us doing it, or you can also become auditor to become the auditor in Shell. So in our parts, engineer is just a base. After that, you can branch out to many, many fields. You can become auditor, you can become a purchaser, you can become a management staff, you can become HR. Yeah, the experience is very important.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
Any questions from your side?
I think that's about it. So we just do a wrap up for the interview with Mr. Juhari. So we once again thank Mr. Juhari for his time. And today we have learned from Mr. Juhari that time and tide waits for no man. So for those viewers out there, what we can do during this COVID-19 situation is keep ourselves relevant or pick up courses and skill as what Mr. Juhari has spoken today. Do you have anything to add on for this?
You can just call me if they want extra information. Just call me or email me. Can help them. No problem.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Juhari. I think that's for today for our interview with you. So thank you, and thank you for the advice for our fresh graduate and those who are looking for new job opportunities. I hope this will be beneficial for them when they apply or consider applying for this position.
Okay. Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam.
Waalaikumsalam.
Warahmatullahi.
Okay. Tunggu dia. Okay.
Okay.